반대편도 있어.
수가씨. 정국씨, 손 한 번씩 하시다!
BTS heads to Japan for a concert. Jungkook steals the spotlight with an unmatched aura. Hello everyone, welcome back to Kpop BTS, the place where stories are not just told, but truly felt. Before everything began, there was silence. A pause so subtle, yet powerful enough to make the world feel as if it was holding its breath. The morning sky stretched gently above the city, not too bright, not too dark. Like an empty canvas, waiting patiently for a story to be painted across it. And there, that story slowly began. From a distance, the sound of footsteps emerged. Soft, steady, yet carrying a rhythm that felt different. Not just the steps of someone heading somewhere, but the steps of those walking towards something greater. Toward a story that continues to rewrite itself. BTS appeared, one by one, each member carrying their own presence. Like 7 distinct colors blending into a single, radiant light. But that day, something had shifted. It wasn't obvious. No one announced it. No dramatic moment pointed it out. And yet, everyone could feel it. Slowly, almost unconsciously, all attention drifted toward one figure. Jungkook. He walked as he always did. Calm. Unhurried. Without trying to stand out. But within that simplicity, there was something deeper. Something powerful. Each step he took seemed to echo a journey that had been anything but easy. From a young trainee filled with uncertainty, to a global artist whose name echoes across the world. But what made this moment different was not his success. It was his stillness. There was a quiet maturity in him, something that cannot be learned overnight. Something that is only shaped through experience. Through falling, through rising again, through moments of doubt, and the quiet strength of finding yourself once more. His gaze that day didn't just look forward. It felt like it had already seen so much. Sleepless nights. Endless practices. Pressures the world would never fully understand. And from all of that, something had formed. An aura. Not loud. Not overwhelming. But calm, and impossibly deep. Like the ocean at dawn. Still on the surface, yet holding an infinite depth beneath. As cameras flashed endlessly, there was a small moment. One that many might have missed, but not those who were truly watching. Jungkook paused. Just for a fraction of a second. He turned slightly toward the fans. And then, he smiled. Not a wide, staged smile for the cameras. Not something rehearsed. But a small, genuine smile. A smile that felt like a quiet thank you without words. And in that moment, time seemed to slow down. The cheers were still there. The cameras still flashing. But for those who witnessed it, there was a feeling beyond explanation. Like watching someone who has grown, yet never lost the purest part of who they are. While the other members greeted fans with their own warmth, each smile carrying its own story, each wave leaving a trace of connection, the energy surrounding Jungkook felt different. Not louder. Not brighter. But deeper. Quieter, in a way that made the world around him seem to slow down, as if time itself chose to linger just a little longer in his presence. And yet, somehow, it felt stronger. Not because he tried to stand out, but because he didn't need to. There was no effort in the way he walked, no deliberate attempt to capture attention. His presence didn't demand to be seen, it simply existed. And in that quiet existence, it drew people in even more. Naturally. As though the years, the stages, the endless nights of practice, and the silent battles within himself had all settled into something calm, something grounded, something real. As they made their way toward the departure gate, the atmosphere began to shift. At first, it was subtle. A slight tremble in the air. A change in the way fans held up their phones, not just to capture a moment, but to hold on to it. Because this wasn't just another departure. It never really was. Fans weren't simply watching their idols leave for another country, another schedule, another performance. They were witnessing a continuation. A journey that had never truly paused, only transformed. A story still unfolding. A new chapter, quietly waiting to be written. The plane that stood beyond the glass walls wasn't just a machine of steel and wings. It was something more. It was a bridge. A bridge stretching across distance and time. Between dreams and reality. Between those who wait, and those who give everything they have under the weight of stage lights. And within that journey, Jungkook carried more than just a suitcase, more than just the role the world had given him. He carried something invisible. Something heavier. He carried hope. The kind of hope that fans place gently, yet firmly, into the hands of someone they believe in. He carried expectations. Not as a burden, but as a quiet promise to keep growing, to keep reaching further than yesterday. But most importantly, he carried a story. A story not built overnight. A story shaped by years of becoming. Of falling, learning, rising again, often in silence, away from the eyes that only see the final result. A story of someone who never truly stops evolving. Who is never fully satisfied with where he stands. Who looks at his own reflection not with pride alone, but with questions. Can I be better? Can I go further? Can I give more? And so he keeps searching. Not just for perfection in the eyes of the world, but for meaning in every step he takes. Every note he sings. Every movement he perfects until it no longer feels practiced, but lived. In Japan, the stage lights will rise. Soft at first. Then blinding. Music will fill the air, not just as sound, but as emotion made tangible. Thousands of voices will merge into one, an unexplainable harmony that cannot be measured, only felt deep within the chest. A moment where distance disappears. Where language no longer matters. Where everything becomes one shared heartbeat. And when Jungkook stands on that stage, many will see what they have always seen. A performer. A star. The center of attention. They will see precision. Power. Charisma that seems almost unreal. But those who truly understand the journey, those who have watched not just the performances, but the growth behind them, will see something more. They will see a human being. Still striving. Still searching. Still becoming. Not someone who has reached the end of his path, but someone who continues to walk it, step by step, even when the world believes he has already arrived. And perhaps that is why his aura felt so unmatched that day. Because it wasn't something he created in that moment. It was something he had been building all along. Quietly. Patiently. Honestly. It wasn't just about appearance. Not just about visuals. Not even just about talent. It was about a journey, finally becoming visible. Even if only for a fleeting moment in a crowded airport. And for those who were there that morning, standing behind barriers, holding their breath without realizing it, they understood something they couldn't quite put into words. They knew. This wasn't just a departure. It was a beginning disguised as a goodbye. A small moment that would one day grow into something unforgettable. Something they would carry with them long after the noise had faded. Something that would return to them in quiet times. In memories that feel soft and distant, yet impossibly clear. And one day, when someone asks them about that morning, about that fleeting glimpse of a figure walking toward a gate, they will pause, smile gently, and say, in a voice filled with something deeper than excitement, something closer to understanding, I saw him once, and he was truly different.